Hi there, in this video you're going to learn about how to find the area of composite figures. Your objectives for today are to find the area of composite figures and to solve problems involving the area of composite figures. Let's start with our formulas for area. For a parallelogram, you want to think of like a rectangle. Area is equal to base times height. For a triangle, you want to think of like, what would half of the area of a square be? It would be half times base times height. A trapezoid, you want to think 1/2 times the height of it, times your sum of the base at the bottom and the base at the top. Remember, your bases in a trapezoid are the two parallel lines. In a circle, the area would be pi r squared. Composite figure is made up of two or more shapes. To find the area of a composite figure, decompose the figure into shapes with areas that you do know how to find, and then you find the sum of those areas. So right here, this funny looking figure, I would cut it into a parallelogram and a rectangle. This figure, I would cut it into a semicircle and a square. And this figure, I would cut it into a triangle and a trapezoid. You want to find the area of each piece and then just add them together. So like this figure to the right, find the area of the composite figure. First, I would break this up into a rectangle and a triangle, and then I would just add the areas up. All right, so first let's start with the area of rectangle. Area is equal to length times width, or you could think of it as base times height. So you have 15 as your height, and your base is 23. So just multiply to get 345. So the area of this piece right here is 345. Now let's look at this triangle, okay? The triangle's area formula is 1/2 times base times height. Okay, well our base would be 15 plus 6 plus 6, right? And then our height would be 8. So 15 plus 6 gets you 27 times 8. You get 108. So the area of this piece is 108. The area of this piece is 345. Add them together to get 453 square inches. So the area of this figure right here is 453 square inches. A ceiling tile covers 3 square feet. How many tiles are needed to cover the octagonal ceiling shown at the right? So here is the octagonal ceiling. First, you want to find the area of the ceiling by separating the figure into a rectangle and then 2 trapezoids. Then you want to find the number of ceiling tiles. All right, so let's start off with the area of the trapezoid. Okay, so the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 times the height times the sum of your bases. Okay, so let's figure out the height. The height right here is 5, right? Your base is 10 and 18. Add up 10 and 18, you get 28. Times 5 times 1/2, you would end up getting 70. So the area of both of the trapezoids, right, because there's 2, is 70 times 2, which is 140 square feet. Now let's look at the rectangle. Easy peasy, it's base times height, right? So, or length times width. 18 times 20 gets you 360. So the total area of the ceiling is 360, right? 360 plus 140 to get 500 square feet. Okay, so each ceiling tile covers 3 square feet. So the total number of tiles needed, 500 divided by 3, gets you about 166.7, or about 167 tiles. So some concluding thoughts: you want to break up the figure into pieces that you do know how to find the area for, and then you just want to add up the areas of those pieces. All right, I hope you learned about finding the area of composite figures. Thank you for watching.